caused us to get disconnected. But as I was saying, we want to go ahead and bring on Miss Lynette Artin to go ahead and share whatever information that she has with us this evening. Just waiting for her to get logged back in. Let me see. As soon as she comes in, we'll go ahead and get this ball rolling. But like I said before, none of the information that you're going to hear this evening is meant or is designed to be financial advice in any way, shape, form, or fashion. We're just sharing our thoughts and opinions based on the information that we have at hand in order to make an informed decision for ourselves. And we encourage each and every one of you to do the same. So, Miss Arden, if you're here, feel free to go ahead and take it away, ma'am.
I am. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Hope everybody had a great weekend. I would tell you, we're getting flooded here in Michigan. Phew, nothing but rain, rain, more rain. It's been crazy. I feel like it's like I haven't been outside to get my steps in, and I'm actually starting to feel it. It's like, oh my gosh, in the spring and in the summer, I'm outside all day long. So, or as much as I possibly can. I shouldn't say all day, but as much as I can be out there. And now that we have the new puppy, even more so. But man, with all this rain, so I've had to be getting my steps on inside the house, which that's another nice perk about MoveQuest. If you're in the other Move to Earns, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, why not, capitalize on your steps as much as possible? But you have to literally walk outside, use GPS or whatever else they have you doing. And so with MoveQuest, you can get your steps in at work, you can get them in inside the house, doing your laundry, doing your dishes, walking around, running in place, whatever it is you want to do. So no excuse, I guess, if I don't get my steps in. But I know on our Tuesday calls, everybody looks forward to updates and what's happening in the MoveQuest world. We I went I was able to see the new rebrand of our Move to Earn app today. Oh, you guys are gonna love the onboarding process. Literally, it's so simple. I mean, it's step one, two, three, four, bam. And you get started. The nice thing is, I hope everybody realizes this, but everybody who gets started with MoveQuest gets a Phantom Trailblazer. It's one miner that you can dock in in the free slot, and you can mine for 30 days and get a feel for MoveQuest. And then if you decide, you can come in through the hatchery and mint more miners. And then as another perk, when you mint those miners, you're going to earn additional MoveQuest through the hatchery. So every day that you submit that proof of physical activity, you're also mining additional MoveQuest through the hatchery. And that's if you do that for the 222 days, chances are you're gonna basically be flush with whatever it costs you for the type of miners that you were mining just through the hatchery. So everybody who's currently in the community who were taking advantage of a small perk that we gave you in the hatchery, which was to give you back all of your MoveQuest that you used to mint your miners in the hatchery. That was supposed to end this morning at 9 a.m., but we got caught up in meetings and working on the MoveQuest rebrand app, getting some things done that needed to be done. And so it didn't get done today. So we're leaving it until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So good for you guys. I don't know if people realized that or not. Now, the reason that we are giving back that move quest at the end of 222 days for everybody now up until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. is because we want to make sure we have enough in circulation. We've got tokenomics that mirror Bitcoin's tokenomics. And of course, because Bitcoin was the first blockchain, we were able to make some positive adjustments, okay, to how this MoveQuest token goes into circulation so we don't saturate the market. So what took Bitcoin 4 years to get to where we are in 8 months, um, it's all just simple adjustments in how the token is mined, making sure that we don't oversaturate the market with MoveQuest before the demand is there. All new projects take time to show their value, to gain credibility. And we've been building this project now for, in August, it'll be 4 years from the time of inception, meaning pen to paper. When I mapped out the entire project and how it was to operate with its self-funding ecosystem. There is no request to the community to add liquidity to the pool because you do that right through the engagement of the project. And to date, I love to go through, give people an update. You know, once it's verified on CoinMarketCap, all of this information will be readily available right there. We're also going to put it up on the website. Hopefully, you guys will see that in the next, I would say, the next 7 to 14 days. We want to get the app live first. Let me go over these well, no, let me back up. So I'm gonna give you an update on the app first. So I've seen it today. It looks wonderful. You guys are gonna absolutely love it. And it has pretty much all of the features that you could do on the Web3 inside the app. It's so much different than the Get Fit Mining app, just because you can do most everything right on the app as well. Helps you walk through the processes as well. Simplifies it a bit more. But we're trying to finish up the Binance Smart Chain side before we take it live. We'd like to have all three chains working in the new app. Now, if we can't get that done by the end of the week, we may just take the new rebranded app live anyway and then uh, get the Binance Smart Chain updated as soon as possible. We really don't want to have two apps out on the market. We don't want to have Get Fit Mining and MoveQuest available to people. We really just want it to be MoveQuest. So if we can get this achieved by the end of the week, that is our goal. I know it kind of puts a little bit of a delay on us presenting it to the community, you know, in the next couple of days, but I think it's going to be less confusion by just having one website, one app. Get Fit Mining would be gone. It'd go by the wayside. So those of you who are still using Get Fit Mining, I would honestly encourage you to become familiar with MoveQuest.com. Make sure that you know how to use it because Get Fit Mining will be taken down, as will the Get Fit Mining app. All everybody's going to have to do is just go in and update. It'll update you right into the MoveQuest app. All your miners and everything will be there, so it's not going to be any major transition. Your wallets will stay the same, internal wallets. We have added some additional security features. While we haven't gone viral yet, we do expect that we will. It's kind of hard not to when you have a project like this, even though the world hasn't really been introduced to us. Once they are, it's going to kind of be one of those trains you can't stop. And so we want to make sure that we have top notch. Not that we haven't taken our security serious, because we have, and we're very secure. Our app in the Web3 is extremely secure now. We just want to make sure that we are even more secure. Okay, the more people that you have involved in the project, um, it can create additional uh, risks when I talk about like your hackers and whatnot. And so we've taken some additional security steps to what we already have to make sure that our users are safe with the app, not lose your MoveQuest tokens. Now, those of you who do silly little things, let me just tell you guys up front, nobody from our admin side, nobody from our customer support will ever contact you. Ever. Not in any chat. If somebody contacts you and says that they are MoveQuest support, they're lying to you. And if anybody, and you fall for this, okay, and you believe them because you're in Telegram. Telegram is like a cesspool of scammers. You got to stay away from. We are not in Telegram. Okay. There is no official MoveQuest or Get Fit Mining group in Telegram. If you're in a group in Telegram that says it's MoveQuest or Get Fit, one, it's probably a scam chat. Two, it might be one that somebody who's in the project created and you joined it because of that. But it is not an official MoveQuest chat space. We have on our site exactly what is official. And if you choose not to leave one of those chat spaces that isn't official, and you click on a link within that chat, and it has a malicious, it's a phishing link, it's a malicious link, it's a hacker's link. Okay, you click it, you're basically giving permission for them to just take everything out of your wallet. If anybody asks you for your 12-word passphrase, it is not MoveQuest. If anybody asks you to share your screen while you're creating that wallet and they're writing down that 12-word passphrase with you, it is not MoveQuest. They ask you for your private key. It's not MoveQuest. We will never ask you for those things. We don't want those things. We don't ever want you to share those security words or that private key with anybody. If you do, it's your fault. Okay. Everybody has been warned and has been, told umpteen times. You do always approach everything with caution. You got to remember, you don't have a bank that's managing your money for you. You are managing your money in your wallet. And so if you're not extremely careful, you're going to lose it. And that's on you. There's nothing that can be done about it. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to retrieve it. There's no chargebacks. There's no clawbacks. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It's just gone. So be extremely cautious. Make sure you're always on the official website. Check the URL. We are movequest.com. It may say app.movequest.com. It may say movequest.com/dashboard or something like that. But if it's not .com, it's not us. Okay, uh, there's a few websites floating around out there. MoveQuest I don't know what they are, but they're not us. If it's not movequest.com, it can be a sub domain. As long as it's got movequest.com, it's us. If it's not got movequest.com, it is not us. Stay away from it. Do not click their links. And another thing, we don't just randomly give away MoveQuest. So when you see that site pop up that says claim your MoveQuest rewards, it's not us. Okay, you're mining those rewards. You're either getting them because you're mining them through your proof of physical activity that you're recording to the blockchain. Once you have submitted that proof of physical activity, you are mining also out of the hatchery. That's the only way you're going to get rewards on MoveQuest. Okay. There is nothing else there for you. We don't run promotions like that. We don't give away MoveQuest. So if you're hopping up on a site that says they're giving you MoveQuest, they're lying to you. They're going to steal your MoveQuest. So we're also getting back to security. I'm just telling you guys that we're adding some additional security features to the app just to make sure that everything is secure on our end for you. But we also want to make sure that you're secure and that you're taking the proper steps on your end because we can't do anything. We've renounced that MoveQuest contract. We cannot, before we had renounced it, we could go and we could take them back from that hacker's wallet when they were stolen. But we don't own that smart contract. We can't make any adjustments or changes. We can't pause it. We can't transfer. We can't do anything. When they're gone, they're gone. So just be really careful because your MoveQuest tokens, they're going to be pretty valuable to you someday. Getting back to that topic, you guys should be so proud of yourselves. Like, what an amazing community. Do you know that there are only 252,530 MoveQuest tokens in our community's wallets? Our community has 373,543 MoveQuest tokens in the hatchery. We have reached our goal of 60%. So when you go to the hatchery dashboard, at the very top, I'm going to go to that right now so I make sure I say it properly. You're going to see this little bar graph there. and it will tell you how many MoveQuest tokens are currently in the hatchery. That's 373,462. 60% is 375,000 MoveQuest tokens. So it's like 59.8% or something like that. So we've, as of yesterday, we'd actually hit the 60%, but you got to remember every day, 2,500 MoveQuest tokens are mined. And so that 60% on that graph, it just moves up just a little bit every day. So you'll see that increase. And that's basically because every single day, 2,500 more MoveQuest tokens have gone into circulation. And 60% is that 375,000 deposited. Now, as of yesterday, we had actually hit, or maybe it was 2 days ago, we were actually, those of you who'd seen it, it was like 100%.1. And so that means we were actually over the 60%. That's super exciting for our community, because that means that there are more serious holders than there are actual sellers. When you see people selling right now, it really shouldn't disappoint you, because what you want to see is as few tokens being held. Is you want to see is those who are selling, you want to see them selling now, not down the road. You got to understand that because there's such a short supply of these MoveQuest tokens, right? We didn't dilute them. We didn't have a pre-sale. We didn't allocate tokens to anybody. There are no tokens on a cliff. There are no tokens that, in 1 year I get 1 million tokens. In 10 years I get 1 million tokens. I don't get any. I have to mine them or I have to buy them just like everybody else. Not one single token did I get as the creator of this project, nor did the developers, nor did the designers, nor did any of our admin staff, nor did any of our core team. And they'll tell you, they work their tails off and they mine and they buy just like I do. Like there's no special perk. They just love the project and they love the community. And so when we tell you there's 252,530 currently being held in wallets, and then that 373,000 that's in the hatchery. Those that are in the hatchery, I will guarantee you that the larger percentage of those are going to roll them right back into the golden hatchery, because there's no fee for that. It's just a rollover. You don't get minors, but you get to roll it over. And if the community is growing, at a good rate like it is right now. I mean, we've tripled our not tripled, almost. I'd say we've doubled. Okay, we've doubled uh our community size over the last, I would say, 30 to 45 days. And much of that, not all of it, but much of that has to uh we've got Nick Nesbitt to thank for that, because he's been working really hard. Many of you have, so I'm not discounting anybody else, but Nick, he really went to business, and he's really done a great job sharing this project with his community and his network. So I just thought I'd give a shout out to him. Now, granted, we've got some amazing builders here, so don't get upset with me because I didn't name you, because we know that there's many people that are working very hard sharing this project and helping to build the community. But Nick has gone above and beyond over the last 30 to 45 days. We've got Brandon Ivy and Marnita Casa, who are constantly doing their presentations daily here for the last month, almost. I think for the last 30 days or most of March, and then they do them 2 or 3 times during the week. Hayden, who's doing 2 or 3 or 4 presentations, I believe, almost every day. I'm not sure that now that the March Mania or Move Mania has ended, if they're still doing them as frequent, but they're still doing them. So everybody has put in a lot of work. You got Brian Rhodes, who works tirelessly with his team, constantly answering questions. You've got Herschel, who's always available to everybody. If he's not making videos, I'm not sure who else is making the videos, but I know Herschel is. You guys forgive me if I don't name everybody. We've got Corey, who is always in Discord and making sure that the announcements get out. We've got Dell, who's working in Discord. We've got Kathleen, who's always in customer support, Janae and Mike and Clayton. I could go on and on and on and on, and naming how many amazing people that we have that are helping to take this project to the next level. Without you guys, we couldn't do it. This is a community driven project. 100%, 90% of your transactions become liquidity. It doesn't happen every day. Sometimes it'll only happen a few times a month. It all depends on what is trending on the exchanges. But I can tell you that over the next, I don't know how many days it is, but just from all of the activity that has been going on, the liquidity pool is very secure. Um, and there's quite a bit in there waiting to be injected. It doesn't it doesn't drive up the market for the sellers. Okay. And I explain this quite a bit. There's an algorithm that runs based on trends. So when the community is growing, and you guys all seen it over the last several weeks, month, 6 weeks, whatever it's been, when the community is growing, the ecosystem kicks in and it helps to maintain that market value that the community is driving it up to. But if there's a shift or a lull in the community growth and you start to see the selling trends, the ecosystem isn't going to drive up the market value for your sellers. It's going to maintain it for the buyers, right? Now, if that starts to shift and the percentages and the trends start to change a bit, you'll see less of it. But what the ecosystem does is it banks up that liquidity so that when it gets to a certain level, it'll inject it so that it can stabilize it at a fair market value based on the trends that are taking place from the community activity. So the community literally drives what the ecosystem does. And so the faster the community grows, the higher the market value, the more liquidity that's injected. If it's a reversal and you start seeing more selling, the ecosystem is going to let the sellers get the lowest price possible until it needs to inject that liquidity to stabilize the market value that it should be at based on trends. So it's a pretty dynamic system. But seeing that 373,543 MoveQuest tokens in the hatchery, that's exciting to me. That means that every single day, those wallets are mining additional MoveQuest tokens. You're getting that extra MoveQuest that should be going out like Bitcoin. Okay, we're mining 7,200 Bitcoin per day in its first 4 years. Now, while we have 7,200 a day that's allocated, it doesn't all go out. It's got to reach, the community has to reach certain levels. So it pushes this move quest into the next year or the next year, right? So it'll just increase the amount as the community is growing, but there's an allocation for the hatchery. There's the allocation for the mining, but it doesn't put it into circulation before the demand is there. So currently there's 2,500 a day that are going out through the mining from the proof of physical activity, and up to the 2,500 can go into um, the hatchery per day. And currently, right now, the hatchery rewards 690 MoveQuest tokens, additional MoveQuest tokens. Being at that 60% is great. Our liquidity pool is at 70. What it basically is saying right now with our liquidity, 72% of our holders are going to be able to get a market value. Now, let's say, everybody sold today. Now, granted that what I'm telling you, it if it did happen, it would take weeks, couple months, whatever. This isn't something that's going to happen tomorrow. But if everybody said, okay, I'm going to sell all 252,000 or whatever is in circulation, 70, what did I say, 72, 73 almost percent would get a market value between $12.69 and $5.55. Okay, that's like the floor price. And in between that, you've got the ecosystem that's got a bank that's constantly injecting that liquidity to stabilize it as that market's moving down, which means 28%, the additional 28% of the community would not get less than $4.73 for their tokens. That's very strong. When you look at the size of our community, the liquidity pool, how the ecosystem works. And then I love to pick on Stepin, who can't get past 5 cents with 2 million users. Okay, they don't have 2 million users anymore. They only have 11,000 or something every month. But my point is this: you've got a project who only listed the token on the Avalanche blockchain 200, I'll tell you exactly, 281 days ago. And we have had an all-time high of $125. That wasn't organic. Organically, it was 110. That 125 was a FOMO buy. And then it dropped right back down to where it settled into its $110. And then we introduced the rebrand, and everybody was like, oh, okay, it was supposed to take 6 weeks. It's taken about 8 months, um, because the developers decided to do a complete rewrite of the entire system, which is good because we were able to add more features and make it a lot more user friendly. But when you start developing, I don't know, I'm going to give you guys this analogy because it's really the truth. So we have been behind my house, we have woods, right? And I used to have a chain link fence back there. And I decided to take that chain link fence down. Why? Because I thought I was just going to clean a little bit out of the woods there. So here I am one day cutting down the chain link fence. Started pulling out like old leaves and things that had just been kind of dumped over the fence from the prior owners. Next thing I know, I'm in there cutting down the little trees. And then I'm cutting down bigger ones. Then I'm starting to cut down the dead trees. And before you know it, we needed a skid steer. And then we needed a big 9-inch chipper. And Michael comes home, he's like, what the hell are you doing? Well, this is kind of like what happens with the developers. They get in there and they start doing what they thought would only take a few weeks. And they're like, oh, you know what? We need to update this contract. Then we need to update this. Oh, now all these contracts need to sync. Oh, you know what? We better go and change this. We need to implement this. We need to do this. We need to do that. And it's just this progression of changes and fixes and things to make that better. So when I look at it from their point of view, trust me, you guys, I almost get hostile with them sometimes because I don't like the length of time that it took. But the end result is this: nobody has created a project like this that's completely self sustaining. This is built like a blockchain, but it's not a blockchain. And we want to make sure we've done everything perfect, that there are no bumps in the road when we do hit that viral growth. And so once this app comes out, you guys are going to absolutely love it. It's going to be totally worth your wait. And the bottom line is this: while we've all been going through this development stage, you're all mining the most token you'll ever be able to mine. Because every 4 years there's a halving. Okay, so it's going to be less 4 years from now. And as more people come in, the mining difficulty becomes, it increases. And while the market value of the token goes up while you're mining less, it's it's still very worth it to you because imagine, okay, we've done in 281 days what took Bitcoin 4 years to do. Okay, and because we do mirror their tokenomics with some very good adjustments to how it's mined and distributed. Imagine if you're only mining zero point 0.1 MoveQuest a day with 9 Titans and it's $90,000. If you do the math, you're making some really good, token from your mining. Now, think about it right now. All of you guys who are here now, look at all the MoveQuest you're mining every day. And then put the hatchery on top of it to boot. Those of you who are holding it, you're going to be the ones who decide when it's going to be sold. And you'll be able to demand your own market value. The people who are selling it right now, I mean, it happens with all projects. It happened with Bitcoin. It's going to happen. You're always going to have your sellers there. And it does take a while for a project to catch on, for people to see it, to believe it, to see how it works. Because there's so many projects that are out there that fail. So with us going to our 4th year, we've added some major validation, right? That we do what we say, we deliver what we say. We don't always deliver on time, but that's just the way developers are. You have no control over that. As much as you'd like to, you just don't. But we're moving really good. Everything is moving along very well. Um, And I'm really excited for everybody to see the app. I can't wait. I think you guys are going to be over the top elated with what you see. You should be very excited with what you've done by building up the MoveQuest that's in the hatchery, the rewards that you're getting every day. Those of you who are here, you're mining those rewards in the hatchery. Tell me that you don't love that. I mean, you're mining more in the hatchery probably than what you are from the proof of physical activity from the mining pool. Those of you who are, do the 100% or the clap or something here. Show me that you guys love that hatchery. You have to absolutely love it. I know I do. I'm getting like 1.73 MoveQuest a day just through the hatchery, which is amazing. I absolutely love that. And so even, for people who say, well, I don't know if it's, if the market value of the token is at this market value, I'm not sure it's really worth it to submit that proof of physical activity. Let me remind you that this is the most MoveQuest you'll ever mine, because as more people come into the community, it's less MoveQuest that you're mining every day. You guys should be banking that MoveQuest, seriously. Think about Bitcoin. I could kick myself sometimes. The stupid reasons that I sold some of my Bitcoin back in the day. But you live and you learn. I have not sold any MoveQuest. I know there's a lot of people here who haven't sold any MoveQuest. I mine it and I bank it because I know that this can be the next Bitcoin. Why? Because everybody moves. Why wouldn't you get MoveQuest for doing what you're already doing? It's a no-brainer. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The Binance Smart Chain, I can't really give you guys updates on that this week. It's simply because I don't know if they're going to have it all implemented when the new app goes live, because we really want that to um, go live here very soon. I have to wait and get a good feel kind of by the end of the week to see where they're at with it. The goal on their end is to have all three blockchains available in the MoveQuest app. So it is kind of creating a bit of another delay on the release of that, where we weren't planning on doing that originally. We were going to release MoveQuest with just the Avalanche chain and then leave up the Get Fit Mining app for everybody on the Binance Smart Chain, and then take the next 30 to 60 days to implement it into the new app. But then they kind of started talking about it, thinking about it, and it's like, we probably should really push to see if we can get that all switched and implemented into the new app as soon as possible. And that will allow us to move a little faster on the Binance Smart Chain as well. So I'm going to let you guys know towards the end of the week where we're looking. Hopefully it's going to be sooner than later. But we really don't want to leave the Binance Smart Chain behind and then take another, you know, 4 to 8 weeks before we implement that. We'd really like to see all three chains go live, get the MoveQuest token wrapped so that everybody can be mining it at both chains. Those of you who are submitting, if you're not submitting, we're not going to match your miners over on the Binance Smart Chain. But everybody who is submitting on a daily basis over the next 30 or so days, I mean, if you miss a day or two, everybody does. Even I forget sometimes. I want to kick myself when I do, but midnight will come and I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot. It is too late and I missed a day. Doesn't happen often, but it has happened to me. The people who are really engaged on the Avalanche chain will be matching your miners on the Avalanche chain. You'll be getting them for the Binance Smart Chain. Um, so if you've got 9 navigators, not all of your miners, okay, just what you have docked. So if you have 9 navigators, we're going to give you 9 navigators on the Binance Smart Chain. If you've got 9 Titans, we're going to give you 9 Titans on the Binance Smart Chain. If you're not submitting, we're not going to give those to you because you're not engaged in the project, and it would be just silly to do it. So those of you who are engaged in the project, you're submitting that proof of physical activity, you will be able to mine on the Binance Smart Chain, and there won't be a cost to you except for submitting on the Binance Smart Chain. But it's going to allow you to mine the wrapped MoveQuest on the Binance Smart Chain to mine the MoveQuest on the Avalanche chain. Like Herschel said last week, it basically is like giving you a second device. Okay, because you're able to use one device and mine on those two chains. I'm not sure exactly where we're sitting on the Kai chain. I'm going to meet with Rod, who is the creator of the Kai chain, hopefully this week or next week. I'll give you an update on the Kai chain and what we're going to do there. But for the Binance Smart chain, we want to make sure that everybody that's already on the Avalanche chain is going to be able to participate on the Binance Smart chain, especially since we're wrapping the MoveQuest. So that is pretty much double the submission, but it's also double the MoveQuest. The more engagement we have, we'll be able to start increasing the amount of MoveQuests that's going out on a daily basis through the mining pool. So it's all positive things. It'll give the Binance Smart Chain a big boost. Once we have the app out, we'll be able to go up on any blockchain in less than 24 hours. And of course, the MoveQuest would be wrapped there. And we'll let you know what our next chain will be and when it will be. We're also approaching very close. I'm going to tell you where we're at. On the Avalanche chain, we currently have 44,955 miners that are docked in mining on a daily basis. Now, remember, the ecosystem, anywhere between 50,000 and 100,000 miners docked in mining, it's going to lock the MoveQuest. Meaning right now, and I don't know what it takes, what is MoveQuest about? We'll say if it was at $10, it would take 5 MoveQuest tokens. Okay. Now, when the ecosystem or the algorithm triggers to lock that MoveQuest, let's say it does lock and it takes 5 MoveQuests. I'm just throwing that out as a number. It'd probably be less. I'd probably take less MoveQuests than that because I don't see that happening. Uh, if it was at $20, okay, it would take like 2.5 MoveQuest tokens. It would lock at 2.5 MoveQuest tokens always. Okay. To get a navigator. That's that $50 navigator, the lowest miner. So if it was $100 miner, and it took 5 MoveQuest tokens, it will always take 5 MoveQuest tokens. Meaning, if MoveQuest hits $500, it's still going to take 5 MoveQuest tokens. It's still going to take 2.5 MoveQuest tokens. It won't matter. And so these miners are going to become very valuable to you. So those of you who have gone through that hatchery, you've gotten those extra miners, think about that. What you paid for them and what they're going to cost in the near future. So I'm letting you know that we're getting close. We're at 44,955 docked miners, and that could trigger anytime after 50,000. It could trigger at 50,000, but anytime between 50,000 and 100,000, that is going to trigger to lock those MoveQuest at whatever it costs. At that minute, it will always stay that amount of MoveQuest. So as MoveQuest goes up, remember you take the market value of MoveQuest times it by what it says it takes, and that's what it is. Whether it's $50 or whether it's $50,000, that's what it would cost. This is when leasing your miners becomes a major deal because not everybody's going to be able to afford to come in like everybody now has. This is the golden time to get started. Maybe the MoveQuest rebranded app isn't out yet, but for everybody who got started now, once that token locks, you're going to be so glad you got started when you did because there's nothing that will change, that will never unlock. It will always be that way. So everybody who's here right now, you guys should be thrilled, super excited, because you're not ever going to face a day when you've got to spend $5,000 for a navigator or $500 for a navigator. And for people who can't or wouldn't do that, right? They're going to lease them. And you guys have that inventory. So everything that the current community has been doing, you've been stocking up on MoveQuest. You've been stacking up on miners. Why? Because there's going to come a time when that is your digital real estate. You're going to be able to sell those tokens when the demand is there. People who have already sold them, they'll never be able to mine those back again. Not at the level that they were mining them in the early days of MoveQuest, just like Bitcoin. Okay. I think there's only 400 Bitcoin that can be mined a day right now. But back in the early days, 7,200 a day could be mined. everybody who got started way back when, they were banking that Bitcoin. They were stocking up on it, especially your miners. That's what they were mining it for. They were mining it to hold it so that when the market value was high enough and the demand was there, they could sell it and make themselves wealthy. Those who sold it early on, they missed the boat. And so people who are selling it early, it's doing what they need it to do for them now. And those of you who are holding it, it's going to do for you what you want it to do down the road when you're building that wealth based on the market value of the token and the way this has been built and designed. So let's see, I'm at 9:47. I don't really have anything else to add other than to hand this back to you, Herschel.
Well. Thank you once again, Miss Lynette. Definitely gave us something else to think about, from a different twist, especially when it comes to holding on to your tokens and understanding the value of the miners themselves and what that has the potential to look like in the near future. So we definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Well, I don't have any additional questions to ask other than to remind you, and I know the time it may not be right now, but don't forget our snow trace call. I know that'll be one that we'll have to do on Zoom because I believe that's something that's going to be very, very important for people to see what things look like from the backside, um, from the blockchain perspective. And I think it'll help people understand how the apps are operating as well, kind of going hand in hand there. So at some point in the near future, definitely want to get that call, and maybe we can do that on one of these Tuesday nights as well. All right. Let me see here. Oh, she's muted. Well, but other than that, once again, we want to thank everybody for.
I
Oh,
was
there you
reading
go.
the comments real
Oh,
quick.
okay.
Oh yeah, I
All right.
was reading the comments. Somebody had asked in here, well, when we move to MoveQuest, or if GitFit mining is ending, where will our movements be recorded? Well, your movements are being recorded on the blockchain, but you'll download the MoveQuest app. It works, basically just like GitFit mining. And honestly, I don't know if you're on the MoveQuest website, but you really should become familiar with the MoveQuest.com website. But basically, when the MoveQuest app comes out, you're just going to go into the Apple Store and you're going to download MoveQuest. You won't need Test Flight. Um, at least that's the goal right now. As long as we get everything in, all the LLC has come back, everything that we needed, we incorporated here in the United States. We were, like I've said before, we were waiting to see who won the election, whether we were going to go offshore or stay in the U.S. We stayed in the U.S. So that's all that stuff is done. So we should have no issues there. That's all. You'll just download MoveQuest from the App Store, and basically it's just a transition from Get Fit Mining to MoveQuest and into the new app. So it'll all be seamless. Let's see. Somebody's asking about GFAM. I'm just going to go through these questions real quick. I'm going to give more updates on the Binance Smart Chain. I will tell you that GFAM, everything that's in the vault right now will be burned. All the MoveQuest that's in circulation will remain in circulation, and as it comes back in, it will be burned out until there is no GFAM in circulation. Now, with GFAM, you'll be able to buy boosts and things like that for the use of the GFAM so that it is coming back in, so that it can be burned. Those who it like we talked last week, it'll kind of operate like a meme, all in circulation. The ones holding the longest will be the ones who get the highest market value because all of the transactions that come in from the boosts and the different features for GFAM will be liquidity. Those who sell first will get the lowest market value. Those who sell last will get the highest market value because we'll be burning them out. If everybody knows what burning tokens mean, it's inflating the market value of the token. And so it will be inflating it for those who are the holders of GFAM. And then it'll just burn out completely till there are none in circulation. You won't mine it anymore. So those of you who are mining it right now, hold on, keep mining because that GFAM, once we're done mining it, it's it. It's going to be phased out from even being in circulation. You'll only be able to mine it probably for another 30 to 60 days, I would say at the most. We'll burn everything that's in the vault. And then as you use it through the ecosystem, it will come back in and it'll just be burned away minus what isn't needed in the liquidity. So basically what I'm saying is the ecosystem will just buy the GPAM to pair it to the USDT. If it needs a few MoveQuest, it may take it without burning it to add it into the ecosystem or into the liquidity pool, but most likely that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is it's just going to go buy it, it's going to pair it, it's going to inject it, meaning it's going to constantly be removing it in a absorbing it until there's just no more left. So the last holding is going to get the highest market value, a little bit opposite of what you see in your traditional liquidity pools, but different from memes is it will have a utility. So those of you on the Binance Smart Chain that were still mining every day, we had some complainers, but what people don't and haven't always learned about me is anything I do, there's always an upside. There's never a downside. And I think most of you who are here, you already know that about me. And so for those that kind of got a little kink in their chain and rant, 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 guess what? You didn't do yourself any favor. I've always been working on a way to resolve the GFAM pool over there. It's not we don't have a large community over there. There's less than 500 people mining on the Binance Smart Chain compared to we've had what probably closer to 10,000 over on the Avalanche chain. So there's a huge, huge difference. But the way that the GPM token will work, there will be no conversion to MoveQuest. It will maintain its pool. It will have utility, and everything that comes back through will be burned until there's just no GFAM left in the ecosystem. Then it'll be done. Somebody's asking, what do we mean by it's like a blockchain, but not a blockchain? What that means is all blockchains are self-funding ecosystems. When you have projects, 9 times out of 10, there's no utility for their token. So really it just becomes who can who can buy at the lowest price fastest and who can sell and get the highest price faster before the project tanks and goes away, 3 to 6, sometimes 9 months later. Some of your projects that last a little longer, they don't create an ecosystem, meaning there's no use for the token. We've built an entire ecosystem around this project. There's a ton of utility and use for your MoveQuest token, and there's a whole lot more coming. We have the merchant store coming. We've got the marketplace coming. We have the leasing coming. We have the challenges coming. We have the boosts coming. We have the gamifications and the arenas and the Hall of Fame. And we've got, in addition to what you already have, use case for the MoveQuest. So there's a lot of utility that's behind the MoveQuest token. We don't go to the community. One, we didn't have a pre-sale. Okay. Two, we did not have an allocation of tokens to anybody like all your other projects do. So with blockchains, uh, at least Bitcoin, okay, there was no allocation of tokens. There's a complete ecosystem, meaning there's a use for the token, and that's what supplies the liquidity. All your other projects that you've been involved in, what do you hear? You go buy the tokens, the pair, you pair them together, you add the liquidity to the pool, meaning you can take that liquidity out whenever you want, and you're going to get these minimal transaction fees every time there's a buy or sell. You risk the impermanent loss sometimes with that, just meaning you might get back more of one token than you do another. But it really doesn't amount to that much unless you're able to provide a substantial amount of liquidity. The community doesn't add the liquidity here. You engage in the ecosystem, and that is liquidity. Every time you spend crypto within our ecosystem, 90% of that becomes liquidity at some point, whether it's, twice a day, 3 times a day, once a week, or 3 times a week. It all depends on what's going on within the community. You know, if the selling is higher than the buying, it may wait a few days before it injects. Sometimes it's waited almost a week, and then it'll go in and inject, you know, a couple $100,000 worth of liquidity. It's all based on um, the trends, the algorithms, and what the demand is based on what the community is doing. So when I say it's built like a blockchain, but not a blockchain, it just means that it has its own self-funding ecosystem where 90% of all the transactions that take place within the project are liquidity. And your other projects don't do that. 100% of the money that you spend in these other projects just goes right into the creator's pocket. And that doesn't happen here. So hopefully that will answer your question. Where we say recorded movements will get from my, you'll see all your recorded movements in the MoveQuest app. So just like you open up Get Fit Mining, you'll just open up MoveQuest, and it's just a whole rebrand, but it's still the app. It's just MoveQuest. Who do we contact to find out more about the Binance Smart Chain? I have a lot of questions that need to be answered. I guess you come to our calls and you'll get your questions answered. I don't know what else to tell you there. Good to be here. Here we go. All right, that's it. Back to you, Herschel.
All righty. Once again, we want to thank you, Ms. Lynette, for sharing this evening with us. We want to thank and appreciate everybody in the community for doing what you do on a daily basis to help the ecosystem continue to thrive. And we want to thank you for showing up tonight as well. And we look forward to next week's discussion. If anything comes up in the meantime, please, you will be notified through the Discord and just about every other means by which we can reach and communicate to everyone as fast as humanly possible. We want everybody to keep moving, keep submitting, and we will see you all again next week. Good night, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everyone. Project are liquidity. And your other projects don't do that. 100% of the money that you spend in these other projects just goes right into the creator's pocket. And that doesn't happen here. So hopefully that will answer your question. Where we say recorded movements will get from my, you'll see all your recorded movements in the MoveQuest app. So just like you open up Get Fit Mining, you'll just open up MoveQuest, and it's just a whole rebrand, but it's still the app. It's just MoveQuest. Who do we contact to find out more about the Binance Smart Chain? I have a lot of questions that need to be answered. I guess you come to our calls and you'll get your questions answered. I don't know what else to tell you there. Good to be here. Here we go. All right, that's it. Back to you, Herschel.
All righty. Once again, we want to thank you, Ms. Lynette, for sharing this evening with us. We want to thank and appreciate everybody in the community for doing what you do on a daily basis to help the ecosystem continue to thrive. And we want to thank you for showing up tonight as well. And we look forward to next week's discussion. If anything comes up in the meantime, please, you will be notified through the Discord and just about every other means by which we can reach and communicate to everyone as fast as humanly possible. We want everybody to keep moving, keep submitting, and we will see you all again next week. Good night, everybody.
Yep. Good night, everyone.